Alright, so I'm here just to make a quick gauging video about shit I know, shit I want to tell people, anything to pretty much help anybody out with their gauges. So first things first, I have my ears stretched. They're at a 3/4 gauge. This is about a year and a half. I mean, I've been taking my time. That's something I have to emphasize right off the bat. Do not rush. It's not a race. I don't care if your friend gets there first. It doesn't matter. You'll win in the long run if you take it slow. So we'll just start off talking about plugs. Let's see. I guess let's start with a taper. This is a taper. This shit is terrible for your ears. Anything past a 4. I don't even recommend them for that, but I've heard people going, an inch with them. They're horrible for you. They're small at one end, and as it goes through your ear, it gradually gets bigger until it reaches its peak and then flattens out. After the peak is your gauge size. This is a 1/2 inch taper. Fucking gnarly. Let's see. So that's a taper. This is a pincher. Same kind of deal. It's just curved. Keep it in place, O-rings, just throw some on the sides, and get your shit together, whatever. They keep it together. Captive bead ring. Definitely not a fan of this jewelry. Metal, yeah, it helps your ears stretch just because of the weight. More or less for me, I don't like the way that it looks. I'll throw it in. I mean, if you like them, that's good for you. I think that they just look stupid. They remind me of a biker chick or something. I don't know. So, I mean, this is a very small size compared to what I'm at, but you can see it's just kind of a dangly, fucking stupid looking thing. I don't like captive bead jewelry, anything like that, something I can lose, I don't like. We'll talk about plugs. My plugs, they're just white, double flared. I mean, the saddles basically keep it in place. You don't need O-rings with them. So those are basically just double flared plugs. Let's see. This is a silicone plug. It's very, very soft. It has a little bounce back, but not too much. Very comfortable. I recommend them a lot. Do not size up with silicone. That's the stupidest thing you can do up there with using a taper. Basically, if you size up with silicone, your body is not used to it, so it can reject it, especially if you skip sizes, which I never recommend. You'll fuck your ears up, you'll have thin lobes, you'll have blowouts, pain, all that kind of shit, which I'll get into in a little bit. Silicone, awesome, soft. When you can, get your plugs in out smoothly, definitely put in silicone, try it out. Maybe you'll be allergic, they just might get a little itchy, it's not a very big deal. But if you overly stretch, if you skip a size and your body rejects it, your ear will heal over the front and you'll have to get surgery to get them removed, which is just not good. While we're on silicone, that's just a silicone plug, whatever, eyelet. This is a silicone ear skin. These things are fucking awesome. It's much thinner than the other silicone, but the way that they work is you must be at the size that you have to already be at the size that the plug is before you can get these in. They're not meant for stretching. They're just meant to be comfortable while you're at your size that you want. Chaos Software makes these. They're a great company. They have great products. I just definitely do not recommend stretching with silicone. Next, this is just a basic double O-ring plug. Here's the other O-ring. This is a 3/4 plug, from a few weeks ago. Plugs in general, I like them. They're good for stretching. Where the O-ring goes, the groove, you want to look for that when you buy plugs because it's helpful, but it's definitely a little difficult to get your ear over the first time, but once you do, it shouldn't be much of a problem. Wooden plugs, I don't happen to have any right here. They're great for your ears. They wick away all your dead skin so they won't smell. They're a great thing to have. A little pricey, just be careful you don't shower with them, get them wet, they'll get moldy, they'll break, it's not good. This is just a 4 gauge, it's really old. It's glass. Glass is probably one of the best jewelries you can have. Very comfortable on your ears. Shouldn't irritate them very much. This is just kind of a little spiral pattern. I don't know, but glass is really, really good for your ears. It's very comfortable. Let's see one of your metal ones. This, just some metal, Hot Topic shit. I mean, I don't recommend getting plugs from Hot Topic. If you do, get Chaos Software, anything Chaos. It's all silicone, it's all good. Stone, wood, or metal. None of their shitty acrylic, plastic, fucking terrible stuff. That shit will fuck you up. This, just a double flared metal plug. 3/4, that's my friend's. And that's about it for plugs, jewelry in general. Next we'll talk about things you can do to keep your ears fat. Let's see. This is emu oil. This shit is awesome. Basically, rub it on, twice a day after you get out of the shower, in the morning, before night, whatever. It helps cure blowouts. It basically makes your ears thicker. As weird as that sounds, it creates new cells in your ear and new blood vessels and shit, so that they'll get thick, they'll get fat, juicy. You can go as big as you want. I mean, it's a great thing to get. It's a little expensive. You have to find it online, but it's a good thing. Vitamin E oil. People talk about jojoba oil. Same thing. I mean, same effects. Good for your ears, twice a day. Now, if you have what you call a blowout, which is basically caused from tapers, when you taper your ear, and as it gradually gets to the flat, the peak is what I call it, once you get past that, if you keep pushing to get your plug in after, you can have a blowout, which is where the skin of your inner ear is forced out the back, and that's pretty much permanent. There's not a lot of ways to get rid of a blowout. You can size down 2 sizes, or you can just not care. You can tuck it in, but that takes a lot of time. Lots of people, they don't care about it. It's basically just a piece of hanging off skin. It just looks gnarly. You can't really get rid of them. The closest I've come, I've had one. It was very small, and I did size down to get rid of it. But the best thing I recommend for that shit is this. It's called Bio Oil. You get at CVS. It's amazing for blowouts, for just sore ears in general. Maybe you have scar tissue balls from sizing up too fast. I don't know. This shit is awesome for that. This and emu oil, I highly recommend. If you've just sized up and your ears are particularly hot after a day or two, they're really sore, you don't know what to do. Aloe vera oil, really good, or just aloe vera, not the oil. Very good for your ears, keeps them cool. Doesn't really do much for your actual gauges, it just cools your ears off. So something else I want to talk about while we're talking about gauges and getting to bigger sizes. Something that I use on especially these plugs to get up to them, and on my old jewelry, anything after maybe 5/8 and up, I would say, even though it's not more necessary unless you're strapped for cash and you're above an inch and you don't feel like buying jewelry all the time. Wait 6 weeks to size up. It's time for new jewelry. You don't want to go drop 20, 25, 30 bucks on jewelry. This shit, Teflon tape, pipe thread seal tape, whatever you want to call it. Home Depot, $2 for a roll. It's not really tape. It's very flimsy. It doesn't stick to anything but itself, and it barely sticks to that. Non-adhesive, non-porous. This shit is awesome for your ears. You just take your plug, do 2 or 3 wraps every 4 or 5 days, throw a little lube on it, pop it in. You should feel a little pressure, but definitely nothing uncomfortable. The only other tape that I recommend using would be bondage tape, but I mean, you have to go to a porn store to find that kind of shit, so if you're down for that, then try it out. But I like Teflon tape. It's what I use. And as far as duct tape, masking tape, fucking electrical tape, all that shit is awful for you. It has pores in the tape, and when you wrap it around the plug, they open up, and all of that adhesive gel, glue, whatever, will get your ear will heal into it, and it will stick to the glue. So to get rid of that, basically you have to cut your jewelry out because your ears heal to the tape, and that's just not good. So, take it safe, take it slow. You can see my ears, they're pretty thick for, I don't know my size. I have plenty of them to grow up. They're very elastic. It's not a very big deal, but in the long run, you're definitely going to want to try to keep thicker lobes. That's why I recommend slow, every 4 to 6 weeks at least. Size up. Definitely do not skip sizes. That's the stupidest thing you could do. I don't recommend it at all unless you just don't care about your ears and you don't care what size you get to. Silicone, great when you're at a size already. You buy the same size as your, same size as your plugs or whatever. Do not recommend sizing it up with it. For the ear skins, you have to be at 3/4 to wear these ear skins. They do not help size up. They just look sick as fuck. And you can find those on bodyartforms.com. It's my favorite website. Go on there all the time. You can find almost everything I've showed you there. Good prices. They'll have whatever you need. Thousands and thousands of shit. And as far as the oils go, pull blood down from the top of your ear. Take your plugs out when you take a shower. Dry everything off. Pop them back in. Put a little oil in. Rub it in. Massage it. Pull that down. You'll get thick lobes like this, as opposed to my friend right here, Danny. His lobes, they're pretty thin for his actual size. If you want to compare to mine, mine are a lot bigger and a lot fatter. But he's getting, he starts using the stuff that I've been talking about, and it really does help, even if you don't think it will. If you don't think it matters, then don't do it. I don't give a fuck. But everything I've told you, I've done my research, because I don't want to be stuck at 3/4 for the rest of my life. It's not a race. No matter what your little emo friends, whatever they say, oh, I'm here first, that's fucking cool for you. Your ears are going to be fucked. I can easily get to 2 inches with no problem because of how slow I've taken it. So that's really it, just stay safe. Take it easy with your gauges. That website again, bodyartforms.com. And if you got any questions or anything, feel free, message me, ask me. I'll try to help. I hope this helped because, I don't know, there's lots of wrong information on YouTube about gauges. So I figure I try to throw something good out there. And yeah, thanks.